call. I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Faith is not a highly esteemed word in the scientific community. Richard Dawkins says, faith is belief without evidence. In contrast, in Hebrews 11:1, the Bible says, faith is the evidence of things not seen. I contend that science itself is fundamentally founded on faith. In fact, there could be no science at all without this faith. In Science and Civilization in China, historian Joseph Needham explains that despite the intellectual and artistic sophistication of China in ancient and medieval times, science never developed there because, quote, there was no confidence that the code of nature's laws could ever be unveiled and read. Because there was no assurance that a divine being, even more rational than ourselves, had ever formulated such a code capable of being read. So for it to be a reasonable pursuit, at the very foundation of science must lie a profound faith in the rational intelligibility of the universe. Albert Einstein once marveled, quote, the most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible. His astonishment had at its fruition recognition that the universe doesn't have to be that way. In Einstein's Letters to Solvine, he says, quote, well, a priori, one should expect a chaotic world, which cannot be grasped by the mind in any way. The kind of order created by Newton's theory of gravitation, for example, is wholly different. Even if man proposes the axioms of the theory, the success of such a project presupposes a high degree of ordering of the objective world. And this could not be expected a priori. That is the miracle, which is constantly reinforced as our knowledge expands. Within the confines of naturalism and materialism, there is no rational reason why the laws of physics that work on the Earth should also apply to stars trillions of light years away. In like fashion, there's absolutely no logical necessity for a universe that even obeys laws, let alone one that abides by rules of human-conceived mathematics. Whereas the example given by Einstein concerning Newton's gravity shows that it is not merely the fact that the universe is intelligible that is amazing, it is the mathematical nature of the comprehensibility which is even more miraculous. Atheistic scientists today take for granted the idea that the universe operates according to humanly comprehensible laws. They have conveniently forgotten the bedrock of faith science is founded upon. Naturalism and materialist philosophies do not account for a rational universe. The idea of a rational universe was first invented by pre-Socratic Greeks like Pythagoras. However, the concept was quickly stamped out by the pagan god worship of most Greeks who believed the gods controlled the universe at their dramatic whims. That being the case, from where can we trace the origin of this modern scientific faith in the rational intelligibility of the universe? History points to Christianity. In Science in the Modern World, Alfred North Whitehead concludes that faith in the possibility of science is an unconscious derivative from medieval theology. In his book, What's So Great About Christianity, Dinesh D'Souza says, Christianity reinvigorated the idea of an ordered cosmos by envisioning the universe as following laws that embody the rationality of God the Creator. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The term used for word here is logos, a Greek term meaning thought or rationality. God is sacred and made the universe, and the universe operates lawfully according to divine reason. In his book, God's Undertaker, Has Science Buried God?, Oxford scientist and mathematician Dr. John Lennox writes, "Our answer to the question of why the universe is rationally intelligible will in fact depend not on whether we are scientists or not, but on whether we are theists or naturalists. Theists will say that the intelligibility of the universe is grounded in the nature of an ultimately rational God. Both the real world and the mathematics are traceable to the mind of God who created both the universe and the human mind. It is therefore not surprising when the mathematical theories spun by human minds created in the image of God's mind find ready application in a universe whose architect was the same creative mind." I would like to point out that the implications of this line of reasoning go much deeper than the fact of science's utter reliance on faith. It also clearly defines the limits of science in a more profound way. A common complaint made by the atheists about intelligent design is that it does not meet the qualifications of science. Are we searching for truth, or are we searching for science? My point being, there is truth available outside of the confines of science. It is only one way of obtaining knowledge, not the only way. For instance, I contend by its own rules, science is incapable of determining the origins of the universe. Why? Because the Big Bang Theory states that there was a point in time when everything came into being, including time. Aha! That also includes the laws of physics. Since the laws of physics were not in effect, you cannot use physics to describe creation. If the universe was produced outside the laws of physics, then its genesis meets the basic definition of the term miracle. Science, meet your maker.